one more time. In this video, I'm going to show you how to solve rational inequalities like this one. So the first step of solving a rational inequality is to solve the related equation. So I have 4 over x minus 6. I'm going to leave a little bit of extra space because of the way I solve these. 2 over x plus 1. Again, I'm going to leave a little bit of space. Equals 0. So I need to solve the related equation. Now, the way I solve a rational equation is I need like denominators. I'm going to get like denominators, and then I'm going to cancel those denominators out. Well, I look over to the term on the right, and I see an x plus 1 in the denominator. That means I need an x plus 1 in this denominator. That's only legal if I put an x plus 1 in the numerator as well. But the first fraction has this x minus 6 in the denominator. So I'm going to put an x minus 6 in this denominator. And of course, I will put it in the numerator as well. Now I have 0 over here, so I don't need to do anything with that. So I have like denominators. So once you have like denominators, you can cross them out and still have a valid equation. Okay, so this is going to give me, and you know what, might as well go ahead and do the distributive property. So that's going to be 4x plus 4 plus 2x minus 12 is equal to 0. Combining like terms, I've got 6x minus 8 is equal to 0. Adding 8 to both sides, I've got 6x is equal to 8. And then dividing both sides by 6, I've got x is equal to 4 over 3, which is approximately 1 point something. So this is what's called a critical value. Now, when we solve polynomial inequalities, this would be the only critical value. You set the equation, you turn the inequality into an equation, you solve it, that's critical value. Rational inequalities have additional critical values because of discontinuities, illegal values, gaps in the domain. So in addition to this solution, we need to look and see what are the discontinuities, what are the illegal values. So look at the first fraction. What's the illegal value? 6. What about the next one? 6 and negative 1. That would cause a 0 denominator. That's not allowed. So x cannot equal 6. X cannot equal negative 1. Okay? Now, by the way, when I plot these on my number line in a minute, the 6 and the negative 1, do you think I'm going to put open circles or closed circles for these? All right, these are always going to be open circles because these are illegal values, all right, like asymptotes, holes. Okay? The first one will depend on whether or not there's an or equal to sign. Okay? But these illegal values are always open circles no matter what. Okay, anyway, so I have 3 critical values. I want to put them in order. So negative 1, and then 4 over 3, and then 6. Okay, negative 1. I didn't leave myself enough space. What's the decimal approximation of 4 over 3? Okay, it's approximately 1.3. Okay, in this case, there was no or equal to, so all of these critical values are going to be open circles. So open circle, open circle, open circle. So I need to check all 4 of these zones. All right, F, at -2, f at 0, f at 2, and f at 5. I need to check all of these. Okay, so I'm going to start with...
What do you mean 5?
Oh, I mean 7. Thanks. Alright, you guys should always be here while I'm making my videos. It would save me so many mistakes. Okay, so I'm going to start with f at 2. -2. I was gonna write it down correctly, I think. So this would be, so I'd have -2 minus 6 plus 2 over -2 plus 1. And I'm trying to see, is that greater than 0 or not? So this would be 4 over -8 plus 2 over -1. Okay, so this is going to be -1/2 plus 2. Okay, -2. All right, so this is going to be -2.5. It's like -2.5. Is this greater than 0? No. Nah, this is a no. Okay, so that's a no. So that means I'm going to leave that first section empty. Okay, now I'm going to check 0. I'm going to change colors. So this would be, so if I did 4 over 0 minus 6 plus 2 over 0 plus 1, all right, so that would be -2/3 plus 2. Okay, I can already see that this is going to be a positive number. So I can already see that this is going to be a yes, which is all that really matters. Okay, that means 0 is a solution, so everything in here is going to be a solution. So now I'm going to check f at 2. Okay, so this would be 4 over 2 minus 6 plus 2 over 2 plus 1. And is that greater than 0? Well, this would be 4 over -4 plus 2 over 3. All right, so this is going to be -1 plus 2/3. All right, this is definitely going to be a negative number. So that's going to be a no. So I'm going to leave this spot empty. And then finally, I'm going to check 7. So I'm going to have 4 over 7 minus 6 plus 2 over 7 plus 1. Okay, obviously this is going to be a positive number, so that's going to be a yes. So that means I have solutions here. So all I have to do is write my answer in interval notation now. So that's going to be -1 to 4 over 3 union 6 to infinity. So that would be the final answer. Okay, let's do one more problem. Before I get started, I really like to have 0 on one side So if I subtract this whole fraction from both sides, can you guys see that I'm going to get 1 over x minus 1 over x plus 5 is greater than 0. All right, does that make sense? I just moved this one fraction over to the left, that's all. So again, I need to solve the related equation, 1 over x minus 1 over x plus 5 equals 0. And my strategy for solving a rational equation is to get like denominators. So I will put x plus 5 in the numerator and denominator. And in the other fraction, I will put x in the numerator and the denominator. All right, so now I have like denominators. Once I have like denominators, I can cancel those denominators out. Okay, so that's going to give me x plus 5 minus x is equal to 0. Well, that's interesting, because these x's are just going to cancel each other out, and that leaves me with 5 equals 0. So that's a no. So obviously that means that the equation I had has no solutions. Okay, does that mean that the inequality has no solutions then? No. Does that mean I have no critical values and I only have to check one number? No, because for rational inequalities, I have more critical values than just the solution to the equation. So critical values still. All right, if I had no solution to the equation, where am I going to get these critical values from? What are? Just tell me what they are.
0.
Right, x cannot equal 0. X cannot equal -5. I'm looking at these denominators. You can't divide by 0. Both of these would cause a 0 denominator. So I still have critical values, so I can still proceed with the problem as usual. Okay, let's see, should I do it down here? I think I will. Okay, so I've got -5 and 0. All right, are these going to be, okay. These will be open circles no matter what, because they are illegal values. Even if this had been or equal to, it would still be open circles. Okay, so I have 3 zones to check. I need to check f at -6. I need to check f at, let's say, -1. I had some choices in there. And I will check f at +1. Okay, first I'll do -6. Okay, so I have 1 over -6 minus 1 over -6 plus 5. And is that greater than 0? Okay, so I've got -1/6 minus 1 over -1. So this is -1/6 minus -1, which of course means I'm going to do plus a +1. All that really matters is this going to be a positive answer or a negative answer? It's going to be positive, right? 1 is bigger than 1/6. So I'm going to get a positive result. So is that greater than 0? Of course. All right, so I've got a yes. So that means I do have solutions in this zone right here. All right, now I'm going to check -1. So I'd have 1 over -1 minus 1 over -1 plus 5. And is that greater than 0? So I've got -1 minus 1/4. All right, is this going to be a negative number or a positive number? It's going to be negative, right? A negative number, and then we're subtracting something. It's going to be like -1.25. All that really matters is that this is a negative number. Is that going to be greater than 0 then? No. All right, which means I'll have no solutions in that interval. And finally, I will check 1. Okay, so I have 1 over 1 minus 1 over 1 plus 5. So that's 1 minus 1/6. And I'm checking, is it greater than 0? All right, I don't need to know the actual answer. Is this going to be positive or negative? This is going to be positive, all right? It's going to be a positive result. So is that going to be greater than 0? Of course. Which means I'm going to have solutions in this zone. So now I should be able to write my interval notation. So I'm going to have -∞ to -5 union 0 to infinity. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this video. Go ahead and click here in the red apple to watch the next video. Click in the green apple to subscribe, or click the yellow apple for the full playlist.